So let's talk about the different types of salespeople that are out there. There's 3 types of salespeople. You've got the bidder. We talked a little bit about the bidder. You've got what we call the schmoozer. That's, that's the guy that says, he's a born salesperson. I'm a born salesman. I can sell iced Eskimos, that guy. And then what we call the client empowerment. This is the consultant, the educator. We'll talk a little bit about these. The bidder style, I talked briefly about the bidder style. The bidder style salesperson has to be price competitive. Has to be, because all he's doing is showing a price. He's creating no differentiation, so he can't be different than anybody else. So the only thing that a homeowner can compare is his price. They always lower their price to buy jobs. Now, I hate to say that's a lot of people in this room, but chances are it's a lot of people in this room. It's a bad place to be. It really is. It's not a place you want to stay, because this is where most people go out of business. Now, the other majority of the people are these schmoozer types. Most owners are like this. I'm a natural born salesman. I used to say this. I can sell anything. And most owners do a pretty good job, because it's your company and you know what you're doing and it comes off believable and people really like you. And the problem with it is, if you ever want to hand the duties of a salesperson off, you can't teach a personality. As much as you'd like to teach your personality to the salesman you just hired, you can't do it. He's got to have his own personality. And usually it doesn't work. And a lot of times, those natural-born salespeople always screw up the job. They promise crap that you can't even do. I mean, I had a salesman that I had my sales manager hire, and I was gone a lot because I was doing, I do a lot of the training at CCN, so I'm not there. And one day, I'm looking at some jobs that were done, and I'm in the sales meeting, and they're arguing. And there's a big fight going on in our conference room, and I'm wondering, what's going on here? Why are you guys fighting so much? What's the problem? And they're complaining about this guy, Mike, and the job he sold, and the production's really going crazy. The production manager is just, he's like foaming at the mouth. He's screaming, and I'm like, there's no place for screaming. Why is this a problem? He sold something we don't do. We do roofing. He's building the guy an addition. We don't do that. Now, how many people have salesmen like that? Hey, you're shaking your head. I know you do, right? Because if I've got them, you've got them. I got mine. Well, I'm glad you've got them now. The better he's not in my company anymore. But these people are a real problem for most contractors. It's hard to manage these people. And frankly, most contractors are looking for this guy. I am not looking for this guy. I want this guy. I want someone who's willing to educate the homeowner. And I hope if you take nothing else but this away, this is the salesperson that you want. This is the one who's willing to educate the homeowner or the building owner on how to make that investment. Because if he can educate them, he can be different. And if you're different, you can justify a higher price. And you can overcome a lot of problems with this. Now, this is our sales process. It's kind of laid out kind of funny, but I'll kind of show you. For me, it all starts with your attitude. And this is I go through with every new salesperson that we hire. Starts with your attitude. Also starts with goals. Just like any business, you have to start with a plan. We sit down with a salesperson. What's your plan? How much do you want to earn this year? Salesperson's commission, right? We give a small salary, but for the most part, what's going to dictate their earning potential is their commissions. So how much do you want to earn? They give me a number. Okay. Well, you want to earn $100,000 this year. Fantastic. That means you got to sell $1 million. In my company, means you got to sell $1 million. according to how we price it. We don't let anybody just price a job. They got a price list, and that's how they price it. So you got to sell $1 million. Well, to sell $1 million, our average job is $10,000. You got to sell 100 jobs. Pretty simple. 100 jobs. Well, if you got to sell 100 jobs, it means we're hoping, and we know our average closing is 32% in our company. You're not going to close 80% or 90%. If you're closing 80, 90% of your leads, then something's off. I mean, your price is way off because something's not right. Average closing ratio is about 30, 35%. We run around 32%. So if you need to close 100 jobs, you need to go see a little over 300 people. It's pretty simple, right? If you got to see 300 people, let's say 350 people, well, we divide that by 50 weeks because we're going to take 2 weeks off during the year, right? I mean, everybody takes a vacation. So that's how many, and you just do the math, and we set their goals. From there, the company does the marketing. Now, we do require our salespeople to do some cold calling and develop some of their own leads, and salespeople that are in the room don't like me saying this, but it's life. Your job is not just to take leads from the company. Your job is to generate some of those leads for yourself. You got to ease the pressure up on the owner to provide, and the marketing to provide all of these leads. I mean, this has kind of been the only business in the world, in the economy that all the salesmen just grab the leads. I mean, you talk to manufacturers and stuff, they have to go out and pound doors. Talk to a copier salesperson. They get no company leads. Every day is a new day. They got to start calling, dialing for dollars, and setting appointments. So make your salespeople generate some of their own leads. Anyway, we do a pre-approach. Nowadays with the internet, it's a little bit different. Most people, before they call you, they're checking you out. They know everything about your company that they can, for the most part, that they can find, unless you've canvassed the lead. But I don't know that many people canvass anymore. I mean, we teach canvassing, but not many people do it. So the pre-approach for me is sending information to the homeowner, how to make the right investment, how to make a successful investment, not anything about our company. And that's different than what most residential contractors do. Most residential contractors will send information about their company. They'll send a DVD, they'll send a brochure, they'll send all kinds of stuff. The fact of the matter is, all this stuff can be found on the internet. You don't need to send information about your company. Send them helpful information, be different. That's our pre-approach. Then we go out. Our process is a two-step process. We do what we call a measure call, which isn't just measuring the roof, it's measuring the homeowner. Trying to find out, what are they going to buy? Why are they going to buy from you? Why are they going to buy it now? Those kinds of things. Now, most people will say, oh, they're going to buy a roof. They called to buy a roof. That's not what they're buying. I hate to tell you, that's not what they're buying. They're looking to buy something from you, and it's not just a roof. They're looking to buy trust and confidence. They're looking to buy an experience. They don't want to get ripped off. They don't want to get screwed over. That's what they're buying. And you got to find the right hot button for that specific homeowner. And every homeowner, it's a little different. And I find some homeowners, they're real interested in safety. I get some homeowners that they're so busy that they want someone who can manage the whole process. They're not buying a roof. They're buying a management, some sort of project management. So everybody's a little different. So you got to uncover those things. And it's more than just they want a roof. Because if all they wanted is just a roof, the fact of the matter is you could do this online. You don't even need a salesperson. Go to EagleView, or one of those roof satellite services, download, get the measurement, figure out a price on it, mail it to them. What do you need to ever go out there for, right? But that's not going to get you many jobs. So it's more than just they're buying a roof. We look at what the client's needs are, what their wants are, what their fears are. We try and solve them. We set up a follow-up call with the complete buying party. Really important. What's the wizard? The wizard is basically asking questions, becoming the expert. You want that homeowner, before you leave that day, to say, found my contractor. This guy is, this woman, whoever, whatever it is, this is the expert. This is the wizard. They know everything. I want that person. I only hope that I can afford them. Because most contractors don't do that. Most contractors just show up, measure the roof, and say, what do you want? Oh, you want a new roof? Okay, no problem. How are you different than everybody else that showed up? Usually not. So you've got to create that. You set up a follow-up appointment. Now, sometimes people do this in one call. It can be done in one call. I don't recommend it, but it can be done if you really know what you're doing. You debrief. We usually have a sales manager debrief, but you can self-debrief the call. Ask yourself some questions. What are they going to buy? What was their hot buttons? Now, you got to ask the right questions to uncover this, but find out, what are they going to buy? Why are they going to buy from your company? What makes your company different than everybody else that was out there? What can you do differently that no one else can do? If you can't answer that, you've got a problem, right? I mean, Marketing 101 is coming up with a unique selling proposition. What is it your company does differently than everybody else? And I hope, for your sake, it's not, well, I'm certified by the manufacturer. Now, the manufacturers will tell you this is what you have to do. You have to get certified and sell them on the fact that you're certified by the manufacturer. The problem with that is, so are 25 other guys, because they're not protecting this one little area for you. They want market share. So then at that point, if a homeowner's got 3 certified guys and you're all certified, well, then it's all about price, right? Because everything else is equal. So you got to do something a little different. You can find something a lot different. And then we go through our sales process. And our sales process is basically an educational process. We call it the 4 Ps, because what you're doing is you're evaluating what the homeowner's problems are, or what possibilities they're looking to create, what products will solve those problems or create the possibilities, what people will install them, and what price they're going to pay. So it's not that price is not a factor here. Price is always a factor. It's just not the most important factor. And there's a whole psychology as to why we do it in that order. Now, this whole educational process, when we talk about these 4 Ps, we teach the homeowner what questions they should ask in each of these categories. Okay? So we go through a series of questions. Mr. Homeowner, these are the questions you should ask any contractor, including myself. P1, problems. Let's talk about the problems. What's the proper design or scope of the work for your project? What specifications achieve that scope of work? What are the contractor, what's their insurance? What are the risks and liabilities of using an uninsured contractor? These are all the problems that people will face when they're evaluating the problems on their project. Then we talk about products, and we go through a list of questions about products. So we're educating them on all the questions they should ask anyone. And then we go back and we answer them from our perspective. So it's not, I mean, we call it a sales presentation. It's not really a sales presentation. It's really just an educational process. But people want to hear it. People want to hear sales, so we call it a sales presentation. But all we're doing is educating the homeowner on what questions they should ask everyone. And then we go through what we call a closing process. And a closing process is really just asking a bunch of questions. There's no magic behind it. There's no 25 different ways to close. It's just asking them a couple questions. After you've presented a price, let me ask you something. What did you think about me? Do you think that I know what I'm doing? Do you think that I know that I can spec this job out to your satisfaction, that I can run this project so that you're satisfied with the end result? If you do the rest of it right, they're going to say, you're a great guy. You seem to know what you're doing. You've given me an education that no one else has given me. It's fantastic. Okay, great. Well, actually, is there someone else that you'd rather do the job? Maybe someone you've used in the past. Maybe you have a family member. They'll usually say, no, I don't have any family that I want doing this job. You seem like you know what you're doing. And they'll usually tell you what the problem is. Well, your price is really out of line, or whatever it is. Okay, well, let me ask you, what do you think about our company? Do you think our company has the right people, the right installers, the right certifications, the right equipment, the wherewithal to really get this project done?